Okay, I am currently canvassing at a home for the elderly, and I've just received word from my legal counsel, Clayton Ruby, and his law firm, that the Ontario Superior Court has decided to throw out the Faith Goldy for Toronto Mayor campaign's suit against Bell Media. You'll recall that after really months of negotiations and weeks of planning, 2 days to go time, Bell Media gave us a very Orwellian and ominous call, saying that despite having a signed contract, despite having a certified check for the amount to the tune of over $13,000, they were canceling our ads and refusing to give us a reason as to why. So we sued them. We brought our case before the Superior Court of Justice here in the Great Again province of Ontario. So just yesterday at about 2 p.m. Eastern, we made our initial arguments to the justice there, and Bell Media's legal team did likewise. Well, it would seem that our whole system is rigged, and the justice in charge of hearing our case has decided to toss our case, citing jurisdiction is what the fake news media will tell you. But let me tell you what actually happened. I've now taken a couple of moments to look through the actual case, clarified with my lawyers that I am indeed reading it correctly. Paragraph 94 is of the greatest import to our folks, and what it says is that the Ontario Superior Court does have jurisdiction to hear our case, but the justice in question, quote, declines to hear it in this particular circumstance. He just declines. He just doesn't feel like it. I asked my legal counsel if it was fair to say that there was prejudice involved, and they said, indeed, it is fair to claim prejudice here. So folks, this is not hyperbole. These are not trumped up charges. This is the absolute state of democracy right now. $50,000 is what it costs just to have our initial arguments heard, okay? And then we had it all tossed out. They said that we'd be better off being heard at the CRTC. Now, for folks, perhaps of the international audience, I know us Canadians, our eyes glaze over as soon as we hear the letters CRTC put together, and rightfully so. The CRTC is a regulatory body, aka a socialist brick up the rear end of Canada's broadcasting structure here. And what they basically do is they've got the mandate to defend broadcasters. They strike tribunals among all these CEOs who work for Rogers, who also denied our ads, by the way, TELUS, etc., big telecoms, and they all get together and they're supposed to give us a fair trial, a fair hearing. Well, I'm not interested in taking more of our donors' money and going to a kangaroo court where the bench is stacked against us. That's not what I'm interested in doing. The merits of our arguments, including freedom of speech, freedom of expression, the integrity of fair elections, all that is way outside of the wheelhouse of the CRTC. That belonged in the Ontario Superior Court's chambers. But instead what we saw was, just at the whim of a justice, that our case has now been tossed. For folks who are just joining us again, paragraph 94, the judge himself admits that there is indeed a jurisdiction for the Superior Court to have heard our case, but he, quote, declines in this particular instance to do so. Again, I asked my legal counsel, is it fair to claim prejudice? And they said, absolutely. So this is where we're at now, folks. Faith Goldy, running for Mayor of Toronto, tough on crime, easy on taxpayers, a policy, a platform that is for the people and of the people, to clear up our streets of our out-of-control crime, to get our taxes back down, to evacuate illegals from our shelters, our homeless systems, so that way our homeless can actually get back and have beds before Christmas. The most amazing platform. We've been barred from debates. Again, another one tonight was just canceled, we've learned. Our ads have been banned from Bell, and now Rogers as well this week. And now when we try to gain legal recourse, we're being told that the judge just doesn't feel like it, that he just declines. And I should point out the fact too, in the case of the CRTC, that under no circumstances would they have been able to hear our case in a timely fashion. This is something that was articulated by members of the CRTC who said that we had to make a written application, not just oral arguments, and it would have taken a tremendous amount of time, that would have never seen an injunction actually executed, so to get our ads back up where they belonged, where we had a contract signed and paid for in advance of polls, of course, less than a week away now, next Monday, October 22nd. This is Clown Town, friends. This is clown people of Toronto, rightfully so, do not recognize. These are not fair and free elections. This system is, and again, this is not hyperbole, this is rigged. We have been polling number 3 in the top 3 since day 1. The polls have been rigged. The debates have been rigged. Now the courts are rigged. All to ensure that a Toronto First candidate who wants to stand up for the victims as opposed to the criminals is barred from being part of this process. And never mind me. This has been a violation of your rights as voters, as taxpayers. First, we have the political elites and the mainstream media deciding that they don't trust you to make up a decision for yourself, that they're going to be judge and jury of what you hear and who you hear it from. Now, we have a Superior Court justice saying that even when you, good people, we've had thousands of donations come in, that even when we go through the legal channels, that they're just going to say, no, sorry friends, we don't feel like hearing your case. This is not a democracy. This is not a fair election. This is not justice. Anyway, I wanted to update you folks as the news broke, so you heard it here. I'm going to post the entirety of the legal decision so folks can see it. Right now, there is a excerpt I have posted, 94, paragraph 94, which is of the greatest import. And again, I've had help from my legal team to interpret all this. My background is in court reporting. It's where I first started off, so I do know how to read these decisions, but I did want to make sure that I was completely, lock in step with and jiving with their interpretation of the ruling. And they said, yes, Faith, this reads as prejudice. Yes, this is beyond annoying. This is, made in Canada legal system, but not indeed a justice system. Folks, this is war right now. I hope you realize that. We are being attacked on all fronts, and we are fighting with a tremendous amount of energy and determination. We're beyond motivated. We are determined to win this election. Friends, share this live stream. I'm going to get it up on my YouTube. I'm going to get it up on my Facebook. Share it with everyone you know. The word has to get out. We are running for office, and the powers that be are corrupt, and they are trying to shut us down because they are afraid of the power of the people. Thank you so very much, everyone, for paying attention to this emergency broadcast. God bless you all. Please, please, please come out to the polls if you live in Toronto, if you know anyone who lives in Toronto, October 22nd before 8 p.m. and fill in that number 11 on your ballot, baby. Faith Goldy for Toronto Mayor. We're going to make it safe again, and we're going to bring the people's voice back to our municipal government. Thank you so much, everyone. For more on our platform, please visit faithfortoronto.ca. God bless you all, and God save this country. Bye-bye.